Imagine Lefelo la Diphefo as inspiration for the design of an African cultural center in the heart of Johannesburg CBD. Iterate. Zoom out 2.0. Blend version 1 with version 2. Zoom out 1.5. Iterate. Combine version 1 with version 2. Blend. Iterate.
Imagine a future African city, specifically Johannesburg, inspired by African indigenous knowledge. Reimagine Johannesburg city as a decolonized city for all cultures in the city. Upscale 1.
Imagine an informal settlement on the outskirts of Johannesburg, inspired by indigenous African knowledge passed down by ancestors. The architecture is informed by traditional Roma architecture craft. Reimagine. Verify 1. Reimagine.
Imagine a wide-angle lens street view of a piazza in Johannesburg whose design is inspired by indigenous African art. Imagine that the architecture is inspired by woven African textiles. Iterate. Combine version 1 with version 2.
Blend a plan of an African village with the city grid plan. Upscale version 1. Make perspective view. Upscale. Reimagine. Reimagine.
Imagine a shack inspired by African architecture with indigenous knowledge on the outskirts of Johannesburg, with a thriving community living in harmony with nature. Imagine, reimagine. Remix 1. Remix. Verify.
Imagine a piazza that is surrounded by a rock outcrop, mimicking the landscape of the Kalahari in the Johannesburg CBD. Imagine that the ground patterns are inspired by the waterholes of the Kalahari. Imagine high felt grass and acacia trees and tall shading structures made of earth. Imagine a pool of water and nature surrounding this park with lush acacia trees. Zoom out. Iterate. Iterate. Iterate.
Imagine a lampshade inspired by sustainable materials found in African architecture. in African hut architecture, Boma crown and a spire. Reimagine. Remix 1. Remix again. Reimagine. Imagine the shade with light acting as a ceiling in the modern house. The shade is made out of woven, natural grass material found in a traditional hut. Reimagine. Remix 1. Now imagine this shade in the context of a modern house with the chair underneath. Warm lights. Imagine. Reimagine.
Imagine a facade of a building in Johannesburg inspired by African patterns. The protrusions, cutouts, extrusions are all informed by the pattern.
Imagine an African robot whose design is inspired by African masks. Iterate. Iterate. Combine version 1 with version 2. Imagine Noga as a futuristic African robot. Iterate. 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 Imagine made of wood. Iterate. Iterate. Blend. Blend version 1 and 2. Zoom out.
Imagine existing buildings in Johannesburg city, infused with Ndebele patterns. Make the balconies and windows part of the patterns. Upscale version 1. Zoom out. Upscale. Reimagine.
Imagine a space of ritual, meditation on the outskirts of Johannesburg CBD. A space that connects you with the ways of nature, where people come together, different cultures, to practice who they are. Imagine the space and include architecture that communicates and vibrates in the same manner. Reimagine, verify 1 and remix. Remix again, upscale and widen the view. Imagine. Add a pool of water. Imagine.
Imagine a group of people performing a ritual in an open plain in the middle of Johannesburg city. Iterate. Imagine in the background there's a canopy to provide shade. Iterate. Imagine large earth canopies in the background. Combine version 1 with 2. Imagine a sacred space in the middle of Johannesburg CBD where people are performing a ritual. Imagine that there are people dressed in white. Imagine that they are underneath a structure that is made of earth. Imagine the space is surrounded by nature and protective canopies. Imagine a shading structure in the background. Then version 1 and version 2. Iterate. 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 Blend version 1 and version 2. Iterate. Iterate.